I wanted to come in and let you guys know that I just found out that the stimulus package is actually going to be, or it has been signed by President Donald Trump. It was just announced, according to most media outlets, that basically the president has agreed to sign that stimulus bill. And you guys know how I feel about that stimulus package. We talked about that this week. It is a terrible, terrible, terrible bill for a lot of reasons. And, so I have mixed feelings about it, right? Part of me is happy that the bill got signed, but then there's a big part of me that is very disappointed by the fact that the American people are not getting what they deserve. Give me a yes or no if you might have seen or heard about some of the craziness in this package. Give me a yes or no if you saw some of the nonsense that was in this bill. It was sad, it was ridiculous, it was crazy. So let me see here. Let me jump in and let me see here. So the package that Trump just signed, it was pretty controversial because at first it wasn't clear if Trump was going to sign or not. There was speculation that he wasn't going to sign, and he said he wasn't going to sign. But I've always said this about Donald Trump, and I hope you believe me now when I tell you this. The man is he's a lot of bark. He's not much bite. You know, he does a lot of talking, but he doesn't always follow through on what he says he's going to do. And so I knew this because I had to pay close attention to him because of the because I'm an investor. And as an investor, when you know that his words literally will change the value of stock market assets, you have to watch what he says and how that has an impact on your investments and in your stocks and all that. So Trump can move the stock market with his tweets. So I started paying attention to the fact that when Trump talks, a lot of times he doesn't do what he says he's going to do. And a lot of people that would tell me to be afraid of Trump, like, oh, Trump is going to do this and going to do that. And I'm like, okay, when did he actually do it? Like he, for example, building the wall. He never even built the wall. So, so I'm hearing people say, oh, he's going to come and kill all the black people. Well, okay, when does this program begin? I need to see the date. So long story short, Trump did what he did and what he normally does. He basically said, I'm not signing this. And he stuck with that point for a while, and then he signed it. So he signed this relief package, which it's good and it's bad. Like people ask me, what do you think? Is it good or is it bad? I say it's good in the sense that it's better than nothing, right? And that's kind of what your politicians give you. They give you the whole better than nothing argument that says, well, before you were getting $0, now you're getting $600, and that's better than nothing, right? But it's not what you deserve, right? Give me a yes or no if you think $600 is BS. Like, give me a yes if you agree that $600 is a BS, ridiculous payment. The American people should be getting more than that. It is absolutely sickening that they're not doing more for the American people. I think it's absolutely terrible. I think it's horrible. I'm really unhappy about this. So basically, here's some of the stuff that's actually in the bill, and here's the rope-a-dope they played. And the interesting thing is that just to show you how much your government almost seems to hate you, they went out of their way to really minimize the amount of information that the public received on the nonsense that they were pushing out. And so what they would do is, on social media, social media has, censors a lot of people, even people like myself who are smarter than the average bear trying to break things down. They censor that, right? So what I did was actually showed on my Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. If you like intelligent conversations, that's what we tend to do. We talk about stuff at a higher level. And I'll just name a few line items that were included in this package. And I'm going to tell you also why Instagram actually, they didn't ban the post, but they flagged it. They flagged it as almost like it was fake news or whatever, but it's not fake news. These numbers are real. And I'm going to tell you exactly why they flagged it as fake news. So basically in this package, where they're telling you that they can't afford to give more than $600 to the American people, they gave $26 million to the Kennedy Center, $1 billion to the Smithsonian, which is actually closed, by the way. So the Smithsonian got $1 billion, but they're closed, right? Businesses that are closed aren't supposed to, they're not, I don't know about any businesses that are closed out here that are getting any money. In fact, they're closed because they're not getting any money. So they're giving $1 billion to the Smithsonian. They're giving the National Art Gallery gets $154 million. The National Art and Humanities gets $167 million. The Woodrow Wilson Center gets $14 million. Egypt gets $1.3 billion. The Sudan gets $700 million. The Ukraine $453 million. Israel, $500 million. $500 million. Nepal gets 130 million. Burma gets 135 million. Cambodia, 85 million. Pakistan, 25 million. And Asia IRA, whatever the hell that is, I don't know what Asia IRA means exactly, but whatever it means, they're $1.4 billion richer. And I personally think that that's almost criminal, not just because they're funding other countries. You look, the United States has always used its economic power to influence other nations. They influence governments. That's how they maintain control in a world that hates their guts, because they do so much horrible stuff, all in the name of capitalism. But what is criminal about this whole situation is that they didn't actually give the the members of Congress time to actually read the bill. They tried to do just a slick willy and slide that thing through and put pressure on people like a last minute thing, almost like your kid that wants you to sign the permission slip to go on the field trip and they know you're going to say no. So they catch you right when you're walking out the door and say, Mom, I need you to sign this. Mom, you got to sign this. I got to go, Mom, I got to go. Right. And basically they use that time pressure thing to force them to sign something that they knew they would not sign. And why did they put these items in this bill? Well, because these are personal agenda items that the different congressional members have. Like this should be illegal. Like this should be outlawed, right? So basically, what the game is you take something that's really popular, you take something that everybody agrees on. Like, so for example, if I ask all of you, give me a yes or no if you agree with the idea of giving a stimulus check to the American people. Give me a yes or no in the chat. Let's take a vote. Let's do a vote amongst intelligent Black people. How many of you vote yes that a stimulus package is necessary in the midst of this pandemic? Give me a yes or no. I need the yes votes before we can move forward. Okay, give me a yes in the chat. Okay. All right. Thank you, Boss Lady and Gary and Kwame and Gemini and Ebony. Thank you. Okay. So we now agreed that a stimulus package is called for. Okay. Now, here's the thing. So what I then do is I take the thing that you want and I attach it to the things you don't want. Right? I connect it to the things that either you don't care about or the things that you don't even want at all. And then what I do is I hijack the thing you want. I hold it hostage and I say, you can only get the things you want if you agree to the things you don't want. Right? Like you can only get the stimulus if you agree to give $1 billion to the Smithsonian and $135 million to Burma and $10 million for gender studies programs in Pakistan. What the fuck, right? Like $10 million for gender studies in Pakistan, right? And you're like, but I don't care about Pakistan right now. I ain't thinking about Pakistan and gender studies. I'm trying to figure out how to feed my kids right now, right? They're like, well, if you really want to feed your kids, then you'll agree to send $1 billion to the Smithsonian and $10 million for gender studies in Pakistan and all these other ridiculous line items, $26 million for the Kennedy Center, which again is closed, right? So that's the game they played. And what they did was really unbelievable. They took this 5,000-page bill and they wheeled it into Congress. They literally had to use wheelbarrows because there's so much paper, just so much of a waste of paper. And they probably printed hundreds of copies of this bullshit, right? And they wheeled this sucker into Congress and they're like, okay, you got 2 hours to decide. You got 2 hours. And they're like, well, we can't read 5,500 pages in 2 hours. Well, then take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it, right? This is the illusion of inclusion. This is the illusion of choice. This is the illusion of choice. This is what's interesting to me. I talked to Alicia about it because, I'm marrying a beautiful Black woman who happens to be a college professor like me. So she's very smart and she makes me smarter. And I said, you know what, babe, I figured something out. I used to think that pinning people down with bad choices and giving them the illusion of choice was just something they did to Black people. And I said, actually, they do this to everybody. They do this to everybody. It's like when the Ghetto Boys had that song with Willie D and Bushwick, where they had that song that said the whole world is a ghetto. Well, we get treated like we Black, but it's almost like the whole world is getting treated like a NIWGA. Like the whole world is getting treated like that. Like it's disrespectful to the planet, to the entire country, for them to even think that it makes any form of sense for you to push through a 5,000-page document and give members of Congress 2 hours to make a decision. And then when the person says, I'm not going to sign this, I don't even know what is in this thing. I'm not going to sign this nonsense. And then that person looks like the asshole, right? Now, I see somebody says here, now this is a good point. I'm glad you brought this up. It says, Michael Imhotep posted on the African History Network that the stimulus bill package is not included in the spending bill done annually with foreign aid. The New York Post was flagged for misinforming the public. Dr. Watkins is doing it right now. I'm out. Good. Thank you, Donna. I hope Donna doesn't go out because Donna's about to be educated right now. The reason they're flagging this as misinformation is because they're leaning on a false technicality that says, no, this wasn't included in the COVID package. This was in the separate bill. This was the bill that they push through every year. They do this every year, right? Well, let me just break something down for you. First of all, don't come with me with that nonsense about, well, this is what we do every year. So we're going to do the same thing every year that we did because this ain't a typical year. This is not a typical year. Give me a yes if you agree with me that this is not a typical year. You cannot have the same funding measures just pushed on through, slid on through this year like you did last year. That's stupid. That's crazy. That's ignorant. That's ridiculous. Second of all, here's the thing. If I take one bill and attach it to the other, then that's the same damn bill. You got me voting on the same damn thing. You can technically say that they're separate, but no. If I tell you, let me calm down here. If I say, look, I'm hungry, and you say, okay, I can give you a chicken sandwich. I say, okay, I'd like a chicken sandwich, please. And then they say, oh yeah, but to get the chicken sandwich, you gotta buy this $3,000 tub of horse crap, right? And I'll be like, well, why would I want to buy a $3,000 tub of horse crap? They'll be like, well, do you want the chicken sandwich, don't you? And I'll be like, no, I do want the chicken sandwich, but I don't want the horse crap. So you can keep that part. Give me the $5 chicken sandwich. And they're like, no. It's $3,005. And you got 3 minutes to make a decision. If you want to eat, if you don't want to starve, then you'll give me $3,005 to get your chicken sandwich, and you got to buy this horse crap to go with it. So then if I go to my friend, I'm like, can you believe these MFers? My family was hungry, so I had to pay the money. Can you believe they charged me $3,005 for a chicken sandwich? This is crazy. How are you going to charge me $3,005 for a chicken sandwich, right? And then somebody like, no. That's technically fake news, sir. You're incorrect. Because the $3,000 was not included in the chicken sandwich. The $3,000 was included. That was the price of the horse crap. But if I had to buy the horse crap to get the chicken sandwich, then that is all wrapped up in the same transaction. There is no person on this planet or any surrounding galaxy who believes that this makes any goddamn sense at all. It makes no sense at all. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe to understand this, you have to have an IQ above 12. So maybe there are people out here with very low IQs who technically believe that nonsense, that one is not connected to the other. You forced Congress to sign a bill with a bunch of crap they did not want. Who made that up? Who did that? And the reason that that's a problem is because they starved out the American people to force them to take anything that they offer. Like just like that chicken sandwich. If I'm hungry and I have no other options except to buy your chicken sandwich that costs $3,005 because you're selling a $3,000 tub of horse crap to go with it and forcing me to buy both, then you have not given me a real choice. You have not given me a choice. If I walk away and say, I don't want that. I'm not paying $3,000 for a chicken sandwich. Then you would say, well, Boyce doesn't want to feed his family. He obviously doesn't. He obviously wants to be hungry. He chose me. No, I chose not to be played and screwed like a sucker because you up here playing stupid games right now. So the games that they're playing, I'm just kind of stunned that they're allowed to get away with this. I'm going to just tell you the truth. I really, I've lost a lot of faith in American democracy. I really have. I used to have very little faith. Now I have it all, and it makes me very sad. And every time I think about it, I get really angry. And maybe instead of getting angry, maybe it's just a matter of thinking of some solutions or something, or alternative ways to get what you need for your family. These people don't care about you. So that's it. That's all I want to talk about. Trump signed the bill. $600 is better than nothing. It should be much higher. I think things should be opened back up. The fact that they want to shut down the whole universe over something where 99.9% of us are going to survive, I can't understand that, honestly, because you've now got people committing suicide because of the pandemic. You got people that are losing their homes, that are homeless now. You got people out here that are dying from other causes, right? You got people out here that are going through pure hell, because people are overreacting and playing politics with people's lives. I'm not a fan of any of that. And anybody who tries to justify this nonsense, I don't even understand what plan. You're obviously just too stupid to have a conversation. I just can't. It's just too much. So anyway, is the stock market going to go up tomorrow? Yes, it probably will go up. So that's another thing I've said to you guys. If you have any extra money, I encourage you to consistently invest in the stock market, because here's the thing. This government takes care of rich people and investors eventually become rich people. So if you consistently invest, eventually you'll become one of the rich people. So what I encourage you to do is at least get something from this. If you're a stock market investor, I would be very surprised if the stock market doesn't have a little bit of a bump because Trump signed the bill. It already got a boost because they thought he was going to sign the bill. Now it may get a little bit more of a boost because now he's officially signed it. So I do believe that's going to be good for the stock market. So also, by the way, those of you who subscribe to the Black Financial Channel, if you haven't, you should go to theblackfinancialchannel.com. If you're curious, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Bitcoin has been going insane. It literally went up, I think, 10% last night. It's up to about 27,000. After taking years to get to 20,000, it's skyrocketed to 27,000. And there's a lot to say on that. And so I'm going to break some of that down later on tonight. We're about to go to dinner, but later on tonight, and you can catch it in the morning if you want to, but make sure you subscribe to theblackfinancialchannel.com. We're also on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. And that's a good place to get daily financial news and commentary from a Black perspective. And also, don't forget, we're doing that event tomorrow. That event in the Black Business School on basically how to make money from what you know in your head. A lot of people are seeking to monetize themselves through public speaking, writing articles, maybe YouTube monetization or whatever it is, or coaching, things like that. So if that's of interest to you, we have Al Duncan coming through, and you can go to drboyceseminars.com if you'd like to participate in that event. That's drboyceseminars.com. So hit the thumbs up button if you could. Everybody, if you could, real quick, please hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe button. Thank you guys for listening. And I'm sorry I got so mad about it, but it just makes me angry. I don't think this can be justified. Anybody who's trying to justify this, I don't know what to say. I don't hate you, but I don't get you. So anyway, I'm out of here. Have a good day. I'll see you soon.